So one area where you might see some other uses of distributive property is finding the areas of rectangles and triangles. So one of the examples you see in your book looks like this. Yes, I draw very pretty shapes. You don't have to tell me. And it wants you to find the area. Now, we talked yesterday about how we find the area of rectangles, and that is with the distributive, or sorry, with the length times width. Okay, and you've done this, I'm sure, several times, but with the distributive property, it does get a little more complicated. So we're going to do, I usually like to write the singular number in front, just because it looks more like what we're used to. Now, if you were to write it like this, let's try that again. If you were to write it like this, I'm going to write it on the other side. It means the same thing. Why? Because of the commutative property. Yes. All right. So, in this particular example here, you've got your distributive property taking place. So I'm going to distribute the 7 to both, and you get 14. Let's get some black back in there. 14x, never mind, plus 35. All right, and that would just be the area. But that's not a number. You're right, it's not. You're going to find a lot of the times in pre-algebra, we're going to end up with things that aren't numbers, and those are going to be our answers, and that is okay. So sometimes not having numbers is okay. Now, what about a triangle? Well, if you remember from yesterday or previous times when you've learned about this, you find the area of a triangle by doing 1/2 the base times height. Okay? So again, I'll pull the example from the book, and this is on page 75 for those of you that like to look at pictures. We have this triangle. So I'm just going to plug in everything. 1/2, my base is 12, and my height is 8 minus 3y. I'm going to go ahead and multiply the two numerical parts so that I can simplify. So 1/2 times 12 is 6. So I'm going to get 6 times 8 minus 3y. Then I'm going to distribute the 6 to both of those. So I'll get that my area equals 48 minus 18y. Again, this is not a number. This is an expression that is going to represent the area. Now, generally when you do something like this, you're going to see like square units, because there are, you want to make sure you put your units on there anytime you can. I'm a little less concerned about it when it has to do with expressions. That's fine, but the main thing I'm looking for in this particular lesson is that you're able to do that. Okay? If you have any questions, you can ask me when you get to class. Otherwise, we'll see you when you get it to practice it in class.